Much. A local couple is celebrating a very special 25th wedding anniversary on May 2nd.
They shared with me their memories of the day they were married on a float in the Pegasus Parade.
Derby. This Derby. Things happen around Derby all the time, so I was thinking, why give it a shot? See what happens.
And that's why Jeff Hill stopped at a payphone on his way to work and entered a contest to get married in the 1996 Pegasus Parade.
They asked certain questions about would she marry you? And then, why do you know would she marry you? And then I said, well, have you seen me? And then they just laughed, and then we joked and went back and forth. And they told me, seems like you're the right person.
He and his fiancée Christa were already planning an August wedding. Everything was reserved and paid for.
I like to plan and have things planned.
Yeah, I'm chaos. I'm good at chaos. She's good at planning.
He called me after he won and found out everything and just told me that we were going to get married on a float, but I thought he was joking at first, but no, it turns out he wasn't, so I told him I'd do it.
They had 1 week to get their marriage license. Then Jeff, Christa, their best man, maid of honor, and 2 family members each just had to show up and cruise down Broadway on a parade float. The radio station put together the ceremony.
They just did it, and we just said
go.
I do.
The nerves hit Jeff when the float turned onto Broadway and he saw the crowd. Did you have a moment where you thought, oh, what have I gotten myself into?
Only when the guy on the corner said, don't do it.
Did you hear the guy who said don't do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and on down the road at Broadway, there was some girls yelling, don't do it.
But they did. And they had another wedding in August.
It was fun to do 2 weddings, though, because then the second one, all the family and friends were able to be there. And, you know, you've already done it, so there's no reason to be nervous.
Now, 25 years later, with 2 daughters in college, they are still in love and still love everything about Derby Week.
We have a Derby party every year at the house. It's kind of like a tradition thing, our anniversary on Derby.
The big party won't happen this year because of the pandemic, but the Hills will still celebrate their Pegasus Parade adventure of 25 years ago and will look forward to many more years of Derby fun together.
What a neat story.
They're fun people.
I like his response when the radio asked him, well, how do you know she'll marry you? He said, well, have you seen me? I mean,
I love it.
Good point. All right, good sense of
The
humor
whole
there.
time I did that interview, I kept asking her, so you didn't freak out? I'm like, I'm sorry, but the planner in me would have said, oh, no, we're not doing that. But she said, yeah, it made a great story, and they still tell it. And she said people are always enamored with the story.
I think if I tried to get my wife to marry me on a float in the Pegasus Parade, I think I would be single soon after that conversation.
Maybe, you know, it's
But
funny.
it worked for them.
The other couple in the video in that story, they met through Jeff and Christa at their Derby party.
way.
I mean, there's all kinds of love associated with Derby in that family.
How about that?
Yeah,
All right.
it's pretty cool.
Special story.